Birdeater is an Australian psychological thriller drama film. It is the debut film of Jack Clark and Jim Weir. This movie is a lower budget, sort of little chiller, I guess. There's a lot of movies that are kind of like this, where they're sort of toe the line between psychological thriller and horror. There's movies like Tyrell, All My Friends Hate Me, and there's also one called Soft and Quiet, which I heard is pretty good. So this one is about Irene and Louis. They are a couple. He's a swimmer in university, I think, and she is sort of his girlfriend, loving girlfriend. However, she's very homely. She stays home all the time, and when he goes out, she takes a pill. He gets her a glass of water. There's something a little bit ominous about this pill that he keeps giving her. But they have a relationship, and you get the feeling that he's going to pop the question. So he asks his friend to help him out. They're going to have a bucks party, which is essentially kind of like a guy's weekend of sorts, you know, something similar to that. Not exactly a bachelor party because he hasn't popped the question yet. However, he's going to invite her, and there's another girl, Grace, that is dating one of his friends that can show up too, to sort of smooth things over, so she's not the only woman there. However, when they go there, they have a nice weekend of debauchery and beers and too much to drink, a little bit of drugs too. Someone brings ketamine, and things get a little bit uncomfortable at a dinner scene about halfway during the movie, where we find out what the concept of the film is. So this movie has a lot going for it. I like the acting. It's really good. There's some montages that sort of help convey the story a little bit faster. The cinematography is good. The music's good. The mood and the dialogue is really good. There's a couple of weirdo friends in there, like one guy who says he's got a party trick where he can tell if someone's had sex or not with someone else just by looking at them. There's an immature guy who riles up the stuff at the dinner. And the only problem I have with the movie is that the second half sort of slows things down. It shouldn't be that way. After about the halfway mark, the movie should ramp up a little. And this movie has been described as a modern day Wake and Fright, where it's sort of a uncomfortable sort of situation where you can just leave. It's also been compared to the original Speak No Evil. I've heard it compared to that film as well, where it's a mix of psychological thriller and horror. This movie doesn't go far enough, though. The second half, things sort of slow down. We get another crazy night, party game after the dinner, and then things sort of come at an impasse in the morning where everything just sort of goes back to normal. And I didn't like that. They should have had one more thing happen at the end to sort of give us that sort of thing. This movie feels a little bit too realistic. This movie kind of has that voyeuristic feel where you're sort of at a party where you're not sure what's going on because everyone starts dropping bombshells and things like that, and you're sort of sitting there eating your salad going, whoa, I didn't expect that to happen. And so the movie's realistic in that kind of way, that you're sort of like someone who's privy to stuff that they shouldn't be, and you're sort of seeing people's dirty laundry. And I like that, but it didn't go anywhere else besides that. So Birdeater is a pretty solid film, but I think it's a little bit too long for starters. It's a full 2 hours, and also it doesn't have any good payoff near the end. They leave it open-ended in an artsy kind of way. We do get a couple of nice reveals around the 75% mark, and that's about it. So Birdeater is worth checking out if you want something sort of not quite a horror but a thriller, but interesting characters, but maybe not the too explosive. So I give Birdeater a 5 out of 10.